Hello, MRE families. It's Mrs. Kalita. As parents and counselors, Mrs. Mahar and I understand that trying to juggle your child's schoolwork on top of all the other commitments and responsibilities right now can be very trying. We are hearing that one of the biggest obstacles to student learning at this time is student motivation. So we put together some tips and techniques that you may find useful in helping your child with their school engagement and persistence with learning. Please keep in mind that these are suggestions, as we realize that each child will respond differently to each technique and that they respond differently to you than they do to their teachers. Our hope is that you find the following techniques helpful and not too overwhelming.
Hi, this is Amy Mahar, one of the school counselors working with Rachel Kalita, and I just wanted to share with you some tips about creating a workspace that might help. So every student certainly needs a spot to work that works for them and hopefully works for you too. And just to keep in mind that spaces can be different every single day. They can be the same if repetition and routine is more important. But you want to find something that works for your student. At school, they have the opportunity to work at their desks, on the floor, in cubbies, and sometimes providing those options are important. So, just throwing some ideas out there, I wanted to share with you some pictures. So, certainly, one option is working at a desk or in a quiet space. Sometimes students need more opportunities to be able to focus without a lot of distraction around them. Another option certainly is a shared area. Could be a central location at a table, somewhere where you can kind of oversee and hear what's going on if your student isn't quite as independent yet. Another option, certainly laying on the floor. It might not be the workspace that we're used to as adults, but for kids, they need to move and have breaks, and different seating options are important. Could be finding a comfy place to work, whether that's sitting on the bed with a clipboard, or sitting on the couch with a clipboard. All of that could work. The other thing, get some fresh air. Certainly, with the weather changing, I've been working outside some more too. So, if you have the option to be able to do some work outside and get that fresh, bright air, that could be super helpful. Another option too is teaching someone. They don't have their classmates to talk to every day and learn together, but certainly you can also bring a friend, which might be a stuffed animal of some sort or a Lego man. It doesn't much matter. Whatever works where a student could teach um, a peer, the stuffed animal, that would be great. And also, certainly traveling anywhere. If you have some kind of organizational system where the student can just keep all their stuff in one spot, even if that's just a Tupperware container or a laundry basket, that way all their stuff is together in one place and it can travel with them. So we realize that without a doubt, families have a lot of different things going on that can make student motivation and engagement very difficult to do. We know these are some simple tips, but they might work and they might not. Just please let us know if you do want to talk about any more information or share your family situation. We very much care and we very much want to be able to help, but we also don't want to overwhelm. Okay, thanks so much. Take care.
Each student needs a varying amount of adult involvement to initiate assignments, stay engaged with them, and complete them. At the elementary school level, this is not a step to skip. The part of their brain that's responsible for all this planning and organizing doesn't fully develop until the mid-20s. Luckily, it grows with routines, the strategies we teach, practice, and a lot of patience. So remember that even though you may be putting in a lot more time at the beginning of the week or even the beginning of the day, it will pay off. Here's what it might look and sound like. First, you'll want to sit with your student at their workspace in front of their device or their paper and talk through and read aloud the general overview for the week or for the day. So let's see, what do you have today? Is there a theme? Ooh, cool, sports. You love sports. That'll be fun for you. Then just start to focus on the assignments. Okay, what do you think we need to do today? All right, tell me what you have to do in reading, in math, writing, science. Okay, now we have an idea of what to do today. What subject do you want to start with? Student choice is very helpful and really important to give them some sense of control. Once your child has chosen what they want to do, start the task with them. Okay, so let's see. Over here. All right, let's bring this up. Okay, what are you going to do first? And what do we need to click on? Is there a rubric that will help us? And do you know where you're going to turn in your work? Awesome. Okay. If your child has difficulty even coming and sitting down to start the work with you, try and engage them with some other activity that will get them at least into their work area. Maybe that's playing cards, doing a puzzle, some coloring. And then when they're done with that, you can roll into the learning. All right, let's finish this last piece here. Why don't you put that in and then we can start your work. It looks like you're in the green zone and ready to go. Once your child has started their work, it's really important to check in with them. How often those check-ins will be depend on the child. Some kids will need check-ins after every problem. Some kids will need check-ins after every assignment. Some kids will need check-ins just periodically. Some kids we find too need to know the exact time of when you're going to check in. It might look like something like this. Okay, you're started. You're doing awesome. I'm going to be back at 10, which is in about 10 minutes. And how many problems do you think you can have done by then? 4? Great. Let's see if you can do that. You're doing great. Finally, remember to praise your child's effort. That's really what's the most important. Leave the feedback to the teachers. As long as they're trying their best and attempting the problems, they're doing a great job. Wow, great work. I love how you tried all the problems. I can't wait to hear what your teacher feedback is. She'll see that you really tried hard. Nice job. We realize that learning looks different in every household and that some of these tips and techniques may not work for all students. So if your child is struggling, please reach out to your classroom teacher, Mr. O'Shea, Mr. Blanchard, or one of the counselors, Mrs. Mahar and myself, as we're here to help and support you during this time.